So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Creatrix. Welcome to Unacademy. So in these sessions, we are going to start the communication system and you are going to study the communication system like never before. So before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared ESC examination 2 times, both times in double digit rank. And I have also served as a Group A Gazette officer in Indian Railways and in Indian Telecommunication Services. And I have also cleared a lot of public sector examinations. So right now I'm teaching on Unacademy and I really feel proud to be the part of the Unacademy team, because Unacademy is the revolution in the field of free education and in the field of affordable education, and we as a team are really looking forward for every student to just come onto the Unacademy platform. You can attend the special classes, you can come onto this YouTube channel and you can stay connected with us so that you can understand the quality education and you can understand the efforts that we are putting in, so that every student of this country, whether he stays in a village or he stays in a town, should get the access of the content, that too in a very affordable prices, and he can also or she can also clear the examination with the best possible ranks. So right now I'm teaching on Unacademy with more than 15 million watch minutes in the overall duration and 2 million watch minutes in the last 30 days. So I am right now the top educator in Unacademy across all the branches, having rank 4 right now. And you can also follow me on Unacademy on this particular link. So you can go and follow me on Unacademy. Apart from that, my advice to every student is that how should you crack the examination and what are the components to cracking the examination. So the first question that comes to the mind, that can anyone prepare from the YouTube? Yes, you can prepare from the YouTube, but you should develop or cultivate some habits in yourself. For example, you should be very much disciplined. You should arrange the extra resources. For example, the PDFs you have to arrange, the test series you have to arrange by yourself, and most importantly, that self-discipline you should be containing in yourself, so that you can be very corrective manner and you can approach the examination in the best possible manner. So all these things you have to arrange yourself. The sense of competitiveness you have to cultivate in yourself, because the audience on the YouTube are not that much of competitive in nature, or maybe you cannot feel the competition which is present right now. So all these things are the part of the journey if you want to prepare through the YouTube, or maybe if you want to prepare through the free resources. Apart from that, if you want that you should get complete content, then this is the YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel itself, all the free content are available. You just have to go to the playlist. All the subjects are completed there. You just have to go and watch all the lectures one by one. Definitely will be getting benefited. But the extra things that I have told you, that the self-discipline and the sense of competitiveness and a lot of things you have to arrange by yourself. If you are comfortable in that, then you can do that. Apart from that, you should also have Unacademy learning app, so that the special classes you can attend. A lot of educators in this country are actually providing the special classes, that too absolutely free of cost, so that you can get the quality content in the best possible manner. Apart from that, there is also another component for you, which is Unacademy Plus. So on Unacademy Plus, what is your job? You just have to study. If you join this Unacademy Plus, you do not have to worry about the crash courses, weekly test, doubt solving sessions, the language barrier, rank improvement batches, live classes. So all these things will be taken care by the Unacademy. You just have to take the Unacademy Plus subscription and you have to come on to the Unacademy. You will be daily getting the live classes. You will be getting the crash courses. When you will be getting the crash courses? When the syllabus are completed. You will be getting the weekly test in the form of quizzes. Every fourth class is the doubt solving session, which is the major you can say the component or the major impact will be creating on your studies will be this doubt solving group. Because until and unless your doubts are not being cleared, until and unless you are not able to clear your doubts, you will never get the confidence in the subject. So once you come on to this Unacademy Plus, every fourth class is doubt solving session. Apart from that, various other doubt solving sessions are going on. So ultimately you will be getting your doubts cleared and you will gain confidence in the subject. The language barrier will not be an issue, because the batches will be running both Hindi and in English, and rank improvement batches will also be there. So all these things are the component of this Plus subscription. Once you come on to this Unacademy Plus, you do not have to be worried about your self-discipline, your competitiveness nature. Everything will be present on Unacademy, because a lot of other students will be there. Since the classes will be live, you can also watch it recorded later on. So the discipline automatically comes, because you get the idea that you will be having the daily live classes. Apart from that, there is also one iconic subscription. In this iconic subscription, the game changer is this personal coach. So this subscription is for them who thinks that their basics are weak, or those who are talented but they needs a continuous push. So this personal coach will be guiding you throughout your study. He will be giving you the study planners. You will be getting the study booster sessions. Once you will get the test, you will be getting the analytics. Analytics plays a major role in improving yourself. We as a teacher also get our analytics so that we can improve on the daily basis. So once you start getting the analytics, you will be also improving massively on the daily basis. Apart from that, there will also be the guidance for the mains once you clear the prelims, and there will also be the guidance for the interview once you clear the mains. So once you take the Iconic subscription, all the benefits of the Plus are included by default in this. And if you take the Plus subscription, then also these things will be included in that, though, so that will also create impact in your preparation, so that you just have to study. Rest of the things will be taken care by Unacademy. So now let us start the class and let us understand what we have to study in this particular topic.
Hello friends, so in the last lecture we discussed about the digital receiver and calculation of probability of error. So in the last classes we discussed the digital receiver and probability of error considering any general noise. In this lecture we are again going to do the analysis of digital receiver but for Gaussian noise, and we are also going to calculate the probability of error for Gaussian noise. So again let me give you a brief idea that first of all, this message signal is transmitted through a PCM setup and it will generate a binary stream. So it will generate a binary stream. After that, we will have a line coder, and line coder will generate voltage pulses. So these are the voltage pulses. This is for 1, this is corresponding to 0. The duration of this pulse is TB. The duration of this pulse is also TB. You can call this pulse as S1T. You can call this pulse as S2T. So we started with that. And the transmitted pulse at the transmitter will be S1T, which will be A for duration 0 say TB when 1 is transmitted, and S2T equal to minus A, which also has the duration between 0 to TB when 0 is transmitted. So this was the idea behind the discussion. So we have to transmit the voltage pulse through the wired channel. So suppose this pulse S of t is being transmitted through a wired channel. Somewhere in the channel the noise gets added up. So the noise which is getting added up here, I am considering this as noise, Gaussian noise. So this is Gaussian noise. Obviously Gaussian noise is going to be a random process. So it will be a random process. This signal S of t is a deterministic signal, or we can call it as a deterministic process. So this signal is deterministic in nature. So the output of the channel will be S of t plus G of t. From here our receiver will start. We know that first block of the receiver is a filter. So this is linear time invariant filter. So its output I am considering as YT, and this output I am considering as A of t plus some N of t, which means when this S of t is transmitted through this filter, so the output I am considering as A of t, and when Gaussian noise is transmitted through the LTI system, then output is considering as N of t. We know that since G of t is a random process, so output of LTI filter with respect to G of t will also be a random process. And since S of t is a deterministic process, so the output of a linear time invariant filter with respect to S of t will also be a deterministic process. So obviously this Y of t is going to be a random process. The next block is a sampler which is sampling at t equal to TB. So the output of the sampler will become Y of TB equal to A of TB plus N of TB. This I can write as Y equal to A plus N. So from here you can see that whenever a random process is sampled, it becomes a random variable. So when this n of t is sampled, this n of tb or this n becomes a random variable. Once the pulse is sampled, this is a of t at particular instance, so it becomes a deterministic sampled value. Deterministic sampled value, it will be basically a constant value, because whenever you will sample your a transmitted pulse, it will always become a constant value. Now this y, since it is a combination of deterministic as well as random variable, so this y will also behave as a random variable. Now the last block of the receiver is a decision device. So the input of the decision device is always a random variable, which is the combination of signal and noise. So the noise is fixed, but the signal changes depending upon 1 is transmitted or 0 is transmitted. So this is the decision device, and this decision device decides in the favor of 1 or 0 depending upon the value of threshold and input. So let us try to break different sections of this receiver. So this is your digital receiver. Now first of all, I've already defined that S of t is your S1t and S2t. The duration of S1t will be 0 to TB. The duration of S2t will also be 0 to TB. This is when 1 is transmitted. This is when 0 is transmitted. Now in the channel, the Gaussian noise gets added up. So this will become S1t plus this Gaussian noise. Obviously this Gaussian noise will add up in the TB duration. Similarly, this S2t plus Gaussian noise, this will also be add up in the duration 0 to TB. This is when 1 is transmitted. This is when 0 is transmitted. Now this S of t plus G of t reaches at the input of the filter. So this is the filter, and here we get this S of t plus G of t, and the output which I am defining here is as A of t plus N of t, which is nothing but Y of t. So what happens here? First of all, I would like to do the signal analysis. So in the signal analysis, S of t, which is a pulse, when it is transmitted through H of t, the output A of t becomes S of t convolution with H of t. So when 1 is transmitted, the value of this S of t becomes S1t through the channel, and it becomes A1t at the output. So it is the convolution of S1t and HT. Similarly, for 0 transmission, this becomes S2t through the channel, and it can be written as S2t convolution HT. So we can write that this S of t will be S1t between 0 to TB when 1 is transmitted, S2t between 0 to TB when 0 is transmitted. Now if it is passed through this LTI filter, the output A of t becomes A1t, but the duration will be changed because this S1t is getting convolved with this H of t, and the end limits of S1t and H1t will get add up. So the duration is not between 0 to TB. That is why I am not writing the duration. So again, A of t will become A1t when 1 is transmitted, and A2t when 0 is transmitted. Now let me do the noise analysis. So this is your LTI system, and this is N of t. The nature of this noise is Gaussian noise, so we can call it as a Gaussian random process. We know that when a Gaussian random process is transmitted through an LTI system, the output will also remain the Gaussian random process. Now the impulse response of this is h of t or h of omega. So I can write the mean of the Gaussian random process is equal to the mean of the Gaussian random process at the input into h of 0. So this we know. Also, if I have to calculate the mean square value of this n of t expression, so the mean square value of this n square t expression will be equal to the autocorrelation of this n at t equal to 0, or you can also write 1 upon 2 pi minus infinite to infinite power spectral density of this random process. Now you can also notice that the autocorrelation function of the output can be written as autocorrelation function of the input convolution with h tau convolution with h of minus tau. Similarly, the power spectral density of the output random process can be written as mod of hf square power spectral density of input process. So if I have to calculate the expectation of n square t or the mean square value of output random process, so I can calculate minus infinite to infinite SNN of f or PST of output random process, and it will be equal to minus infinite to infinite mod of hf square PST of input into df. So this is the basics of the random process which we studied in the random process chapter. So in this way you can relate the input Gaussian random process to the output Gaussian random process. So you can calculate its mean square value, autocorrelation function, power spectral density and whatnot. So everything can be calculated in this particular manner. Now the output of LTI filter will be YT. So this YT will become AT plus NT, or you can write it as A1T plus NT when 1 is transmitted, A2T plus NT when 0 is transmitted. So here you should notice that since this n of t is a Gaussian random process, this is a deterministic process or a deterministic signal. So this y of t will also become a Gaussian random process. So this n of t and this n of t is Gaussian random process, and here this A1t and A2t will be a deterministic signal, or basically pulses of duration, some duration. So these will be the pulses of some duration. Now what will be the output of sampler? So the output of the sampler will become y of tb equal to a of tb plus n of tb. We know that whenever any random process is sampled, it becomes a random variable. So it will become a1 tb plus n tb. It will become a2 tb plus n tb. This is when 1 is transmitted. This is when 0 is transmitted. So you can very clearly write it like this, that since it will be a random variable, it will also be a random variable, it will be a deterministic sampled value or a constant value. So it will be deterministic sample value or constant value. So you can write it like this: y equal to a plus n equal to a1 plus n whenever 1 is transmitted, and a2 plus n whenever 0 is transmitted. Now Here comes the important point that since this n of t was Gaussian random process, so after sampling it will become a Gaussian random variable. This will also become a Gaussian random variable. It will be some constant deterministic value. This will also be some constant deterministic value. So this value will be constant and this value will also be constant. So this n of tb which is written here is nothing but a Gaussian random variable. And you also know that when Gaussian random variable, when x is Gaussian random variable, so if I form another random variable by adding some constant to it, then this y also remains Gaussian random variable. So from there also you can say that this y of tb will also become a Gaussian random variable. So in this particular expression, you must notice that these two n expressions are Gaussian random variable, which means this n is Gaussian random variable. So obviously this y will also be a Gaussian random variable. So the input of the decision device is a random variable y. So this is the random variable y. Since this n is sampled version of a Gaussian random process, so after sampling it becomes a Gaussian random variable. This value is constant. So this y is always going to be a Gaussian random variable. So we can say that in this case, input of the decision device is a Gaussian random variable. It is a Gaussian random variable, and which is the combination of, and it is combination of deterministic sample value of the pulse and Gaussian noise at the output of the filter. So at the input of the decision device, again you have obtained a random variable y. This is lambda. This decision device is comparing this y. If this is greater than lambda, it decides in the favor of 1, and if this is less than lambda, it decides in the favor of 0. And in this case, this y is not a normal random variable, rather it is a Gaussian random variable. So now again we can write this y as a plus n. So it will become a1 plus n when 1 is transmitted by the transmitter, a2 plus n when 0 is transmitted by the transmitter. So y is a Gaussian random variable at the input of decision device. So y is a conditional random variable, because y does not have any fixed value as a plus n. The value of n is fixed here, but the value of a depends whether 1 has been transmitted by the transmitter or 0 had been transmitted by the transmitter. So again, here the y, which is the Gaussian random variable at the input of the decision device, can be also called as a conditional random variable because it does not have any fixed value. Now, after this much of analysis, what you can say that suppose 1 is transmitted by the transmitter. So what will happen at the receiver, at the decision device? So when 1 is transmitted by the transmitter, this is your decision device. This is threshold lambda, this is input. So this y will become a1 plus n, because 1 is transmitted, and when 1 is transmitted, this a plus n will become a1 plus n. So in this case, if y greater than lambda, it decides in the favor of 1. When y is less than lambda, it decides in the favor of 0. So obviously, when 1 is transmitted and it is making the decision in the favor of 1, then it is making the correct decision. Otherwise, it is making the false decision. So whenever it is making the false decision, there is the chance of bit error, that you had transmitted 1 but it has received it as 0. Similarly, for 0 transmission, you have y equal to a2 plus n. Whenever 0 is transmitted, the decision device input will look something like this. Again, this is lambda. So here also it will compare it with lambda. Whenever y is greater than lambda, it will decide in the favor of 1. Whenever it is less than lambda, it will decide in the favor of 0. So whenever it decides in the favor of 1, it makes a false decision, or there is a chance of bit error. And whenever it decides in the favor of 0, because you transmitted the 0, so it makes correct decision. So this is the idea behind the transmission and reception. Now let us come to the calculation of probability of error. So the probability of error formula remains same, which is probability of 0 transmission into probability of 1 by 0 transmission plus probability of 1 transmission into 0 by 1 transmission. So I am not every time telling the name what is this, what is this. I have already explained in great detail how to call these values. For example, if I have to name this value, I will call it as, it is the conditional probability when receiver decides in the favor of 1 when 0 is transmitted. Similarly, it is the conditional probability when receiver decides in the favor of 0 when 1 is transmitted. So again, what will be the probability of 0 transmission? So it is the probability of same as transmission of S1t, or the probability of, sorry, what will be the probability of transmission of 1 first I should talk. So I'll write 1 here. So it is the same as the probability of transmission of S1t, or it is the same as the probability of reception of S1t, or it is same as the probability that output of the filter is S0t, or it is same as the input of the decision device as, sorry, here I should write A1 because I have denoted this output as A1, or the output of the or the input at the decision making device is A1. So basically the probability of 1 transmission, finally you can write that it is A equal to A1. Similarly, probability of 0 transmission becomes probability of transmission of S2t pulse, probability of reception of S2t pulse by the LTI filter, probability of A2t as filter output, and probability of A2 at the input of the decision making device. So again, the probability of 0 transmission becomes probability of A equal to A2. Again, we have this decision making device. This is lambda. This is y. Whenever y greater than lambda, it decides in the favor of 1. Whenever y is less than lambda, it decides in the favor of 0. So first of all, I have to calculate the probability when receiver decides in the favor of 1 when 0 is transmitted. So whenever receiver will decide in the favor of 1, it will be only when y is greater than lambda. So here I can take two values of y because y is not a normal random variable, it is a conditional random variable. Its value depends whether 1 is transmitted or 0 is transmitted. So from here you can see that 0 has been transmitted. So I should write 0 here. So it is representing that probability of y is greater than lambda when 0 is transmitted. We know that probability of y when 0 is transmitted, and when it is greater than lambda, it can be always connected with the PDF of y. So you can write it becomes lambda to infinite conditional PDF of y when 0 is transmitted. Similarly, if I have to calculate 0 by 1 transmitted, so it is representing that receiver is deciding in the favor of 0. So it will decide in the favor of 0 whenever y is less than lambda, and we can take any value of y because y is a conditional random variable. So in this case I will take the y when 1 is transmitted. So this becomes y when 1 is transmitted, or this formula becomes minus infinity to lambda conditional PDF of y dy. Now let us try to take another aspect of it. Here we want to calculate probability of 1 0 transmitted. So it becomes probability of 1 y0 transmitted greater than lambda. Since this y is a Gaussian random variable, so in case of Gaussian random variable we can always connect the probability with Q function. We must remember that whenever p of z greater than a, we can write it as q of a minus mu z upon sigma z. So here this y of 0 transmission is greater than lambda, so I can write this as q of lambda minus mu y when 0 is transmitted upon sigma y when 0 is transmitted. Similarly, you can write another formula. This becomes y of 1 transmitted less than lambda. You can write it as 1 minus probability of y of 1 transmission greater than lambda. Again, this y is a Gaussian random variable, so you can write this as 1 minus q lambda minus mu y when 1 is transmitted upon sigma y when 1 is transmitted. So I have basically related these formulas to Q function rather than calculating the integration every time, because once the random variable becomes Gaussian random variable, it is always easy to deal in terms of the Q function rather than to deal in terms of the integrations. So the formula for probability of error becomes probability of 0 transmission into probability of 1 by 0 transmission plus probability of 1 transmission into probability of 0 by 1 transmission. So you can write it as probability of 0 transmission into probability of 1 by 0 transmission. You have already written as q of, it is q of lambda minus mu y for 0 transmission upon sigma y for 0 transmission plus probability of 1 transmission, it becomes 1 minus q lambda minus mu y for 1 transmission and sigma y for 1 transmission. So this is the formula of the probability of error. Now our focus should be on the calculation of these unknown values, which is mu y of 0 transmission, sigma y, and mu y of 1 transmission and sigma y of 1 transmission. So we know that at the input of decision making device or decision device, we already have a random variable y equal to a plus n. So this can be written as a1 plus n when 1 is transmitted, a2 plus n when 0 is transmitted. So somehow if I have to calculate the expectation of y, so it becomes expectation of e plus n, or you can write expectation of a1 plus n when 1 is transmitted, and expectation of a2 plus n when 0 is transmitted. So I can write this as expectation of y equal to expectation of a1 plus n as mu y when 1 is transmitted, and I'm denoting this as mu1. And this expectation of a2 plus n or mu y when 0 is transmitted, so I can call it as mu2 when 0 is transmitted. So I am basically calculating the expectation of y, or the mean of the random variable which is at the input of the decision making device. So we will always calculate the mean at the input of the decision making device. Based upon that, I can calculate this value of mu y, and this mu y 0 transmitted and mu y 1 transmitted. Similarly, we should also calculate this y is equal to a plus n, and it is equal to a1 plus n when 1 is transmitted, a2 plus n when 0 is transmitted. So if I have to calculate its variance, we know that if variance of a random variable x is sigma x square, then the variance of a plus x will again be sigma x square. So the addition of the constant does not affect the variance. So I can write it as sigma n square. So here also this constant value does not have any effect. So it becomes sigma n square when 1 is transmitted and sigma n square when 0 is transmitted. So I'm denoting this value as sigma y square when 1 is transmitted and sigma y square when 0 is transmitted. So again I'm denoting this value as sigma 1 square and this value as sigma 2 square. So the formula can be modified a little bit, as it becomes probability of 0 transmission into q of lambda minus mu of 0 transmitted upon sigma y of 0 transmitted plus probability of 1 transmitted into 1 minus q lambda minus mu y for 1 transmitted upon sigma y for 1 transmitted. So this probability of error can be written as probability of 0 transmission into q lambda minus mu2 upon sigma 2 plus probability of 1 transmission into 1 minus q lambda minus mu1 upon sigma 1. Though eventually sigma 1 and sigma 2 are same, but maybe in some cases it may differ. So that is why I am denoting these two values. So here mu1 means mean of the random variable. Sorry, let me write it in the next slide. So here mu1 basically refers mean of random variable at the input of decision device when 1 is transmitted. So in this case the mu1 is basically expectation of y when 1 is transmitted. So it becomes expectation of a1 plus n, or you can also call it as mu of y when 1 is transmitted. Similarly, sigma 1 means the standard deviation of random variable at the input of decision device when 1 is transmitted. So sigma 1 or sigma 1 square basically represents the variance of the y. So it represents variance of y when 1 is transmitted. So you can calculate this variance y square 1 transmitted minus expectation of y when 1 is transmitted whole square. So this variance I can also represent it as sigma it has already been represented as sigma 1 square. So in this manner you can calculate this variance, the mean square value minus DC power. Next important term is mu2. Mu2 represents mean of random variable at the input of decision device when 0 is transmitted. So mu2 can be written as expectation of y when 0 is transmitted. In this particular case it becomes a2 plus n, and you can also write it as mu I of 0 transmission. Similarly, sigma 2 represents the standard deviation of random variable at the input of decision device when 0 is transmitted. So this sigma 2 square can be written as sigma square y 0 transmitted equal to expectation of y square when 0 is transmitted minus expectation of y when 0 is transmitted whole square. So this is the idea behind all those values. Now you know that this y is a plus n, or it is a1 plus n when 1 is transmitted and a2 plus n when 0 is transmitted. So you can say that since this n is Gaussian random variable, so this y will also be Gaussian random variable. And we also know that this mean of expectation of y, which is expectation of a plus n, can be written as mu1 when 1 is transmitted and mu2 when 0 is transmitted. And if I have to write the variance, so the variance can be written as sigma 1, which is eventually equal to sigma n square, and it will become sigma 2 square, which is eventually equal to sigma n square. So this is when 1 is transmitted, this is when 0 is transmitted. So we know that the variance and the mean also. So we know that any general Gaussian random variable will have PDF of, if I have to write the PDF of y, so I can write 1 upon 2 pi sigma y square e power minus y minus mu y whole square upon 2 sigma y square. This is any general PDF. Now if I have to write the conditional PDF, so I can also write the conditional PDFs. So first conditional PDF I am going to write probability of conditional PDF of y when 1 is transmitted. So in this case we have to be careful that we should use the variance of one transmission and the mean of also with respect to one transmission, which I've denoted as mu1. So it becomes this. Similarly, another conditional PDF when 0 is transmitted can be written like this. So it will become 2 pi sigma 2 square e power y minus mu2 square upon 2 sigma 2 square. If I'll draw the PDFs, since these are conditional PDFs, so I should draw them one over another. This is Fy of 0 transmission y. So one PDF has mean as mu1, and also we can calculate this peak value. This as mean as mu2. You can calculate this peak value. So you can see that the maximum overlap which can occur between these two PDFs or conditional PDFs, this is also a conditional PDF. This is also a conditional PDF. So the maximum overlap occurs between the mean region or the overlapping region. So this is it from this lecture. In the next class, we will learn how to calculate the minimum probability of error when noise becomes the Gaussian noise. Thank you.
So hopefully we have understood every concept in this class. If you have any doubt in any concept, you can let me know in the comment section. I'll try to resolve that thing. Apart from that, you can also follow me on various social media platforms. For example, you can join this Telegram group where you will be getting important notification, important updates. This is Telegram group where you can also comment, you can ask your queries, or maybe you can also suggest me for the improvement. Apart from that, this is my Unacademy profile. On this Unacademy profile, you should also follow me so that you can get the important updates of the Unacademy also, right? And this is the Notion page. You just have to type this tiny.cc/VishalGate. So you will be redirected to a page where all the special classes are arranged very systematically. तो मैंने बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स पे स्पेशल क्लास ले रखी है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल नाइक्विस्ट, फूरियर सीरीज, latches and flip flop, double integrations, okay, lot of things are there. So you will be getting all these concepts absolutely free of cost. You just have to type this in your URL, you will be redirected to that page and attend these lectures one by one. You will be getting a next level confidence in these topics that I can guarantee you. Now this is the Notion page of your YouTube, on which you will be getting the links of the YouTube. Apart from that, you will be also getting the PDFs of that particular lecture. So this is very important for you, and just you have to type http://bit.ly/gatelive. So gatelive, you just have to type it in the capital so that you can access all the lectures link and PDF arranged systematically. So if you want to attend or you want to clear the examination with the free resource, then this is the channel for you. This is the best recorded videos which has been ever made. You just have to go to that lecture, just click the link and download the PDF and start studying systematically. So we have also done this for you so that any student, whether he is sitting any part of this country, should not face the difficulty in cracking the examination, whether he can afford or he cannot. Now if you can afford, then the subscription prices are not something which you cannot pay. It is very nominal amount which you can pay, and you can just avoid all the distractions, all the time wastage which we will be doing in downloading those PDFs, arranging them, arranging for the test series, and a lot of other things that you have to arrange, doubt solvings you have to arrange by yourself. If you want to avoid all those distractions in a very nominal amount, so you can go for the Unacademy Plus subscription. For 12-month subscription, you have to pay only 74 rupees per day. Apart from that, for 18-month subscription, which is the best possible subscription, you have to pay 63 rupees per day. It is even lesser than the pizzas that you order on your home. So it is that much of amount that can shape your career, that can give you the best possible rank in the examinations under the guidance of the best teachers of the country, which has been right now placed on the Unacademy. Now 24-month subscription will cost you 54 rupees per day. So these subscription amounts will give you the subscription for the desired period. Apart from that, if you are using this code, you just have to remember this code, write my name, write GATE after it. You can also write ESC after it. So you have to write my name and write ESC after it. So any one of these code, once you apply, you will be immediately getting the 10% discount. You will be getting all the features of the Unacademy. You will be getting the guidance of all the teachers present on Unacademy, and everything you will be getting that is needed to crack the examination once you are using this code. So if you think we are working hard, we are giving our best content, we are giving the free content absolutely for you guys, and everything that is needed for every student to crack the examination. So never forget to use this code whenever you are taking the subscription. So this code is very important and you have to use every time you are taking the subscription. Now those who are interested for the prices, total price amount, so let me tell you, total price is 27,225 for 12 month, 34,650 for 18, and for 24 month it is 39,600. You can also pay this by using zero cost EMI. Zero cost EMI can be paid by credit card and debit card. In debit cards there are only Bajaj and HDFC as of now available. Okay, so this zero cost EMI means you do not have to pay anything extra. Any interest is not you should not pay, and you have to pay this much of amount on the daily basis if you are looking for the zero cost EMI option. Apart from that, if you are coming for Iconic subscription, so Iconic mein I have already told you that your personal coach will be the game changer. He will be he will be basically following you to give you the guidance so that you can get the success in a very short span of time. So he will be following you, he will be pushing you every time. Now once you use this coupon code, this will be costing you around 45,225, and if you are using this coupon code, write my name gate after it, you will be getting the 24-month subscription of Iconic in 66,600 rupees. Fine. Apart from that, every one of you should follow this GATE aspirant group, and there also some important notification always comes. Now what are the YouTube channels that you should immediately subscribe? This Creatrix, this is the channel on which you are present. This is Unacademy GATE questions, where previous year questions has been solved by the educators. So you'll be getting all the previous year questions video solution apart from the PDF also. This is the Electrical Junction channel, where you will be getting the important concepts of EC and electrical. And this is Engineering Pathshala, where you will be getting some practical aspect of the videos, some animated videos that will enhance your ability to think. So these are the channels which you should immediately subscribe so that you can get a better content. Fine. Now these are my some YouTube videos which I have created for you. In all of these videos will give you some motivation, guidance, content, and some strategy. So these are hand-picked videos. You can immediately follow these videos. Okay, so thank you so much. And those who are coming on this channel, immediately share all the content which is present on this channel. We are working very hard for you guys, so this is your responsibility that you should share this channel, you should subscribe this channel, also share the link of this channel, link of the videos, link of the educator whom you follow, so that every student who is needy, they can come onto this channel and they can get the best possible rank. So all the best everyone, let's crack it.